My child, she knows he loves you. She feels it in ways even he has never fully admitted to her. She senses it in the quiet changes in his behavior, the unspoken hesitations, the way his eyes drift toward places where your presence once lingered, even if you were never physically there. She notices the distance, those small emotional gaps that used to be filled with her name, her worries, her expectations. Now those spaces are filled with thoughts he does not voice, feelings he does not explain, and a softness he doesn't show her anymore. She watches him, and she realizes something is shifting inside him. Something she can't control. Something bigger than her. Something that leads to you. And that is why she won't leave, because she knows the moment she steps back, the moment she releases her grip, the truth becomes unavoidable. She knows that letting go would be the same as admitting defeat, as acknowledging you are the one who carries the part of him she has never been able to reach. She understands that he has an emotional place inside him where she cannot enter, not because she isn't trying, but because God never wrote her name there. And though she tries to pretend she doesn't feel it, she feels it deeply. The fear. The insecurity. The quiet dread that at any moment, he may choose what his heart has already chosen long ago, you. She senses you without even knowing you. She imagines you when he is silent. She fears you when he seems lost in thought. She sees you in every version of him she cannot understand, every gentleness, every hesitation, every moment he appears tied between two worlds. One he has known too long, and one he has not yet fully stepped into. And this frightens her. Because she knows she cannot compete with something spiritual, something destined, something aligned by God Himself. You are not just another person standing somewhere on the edges of his life. You are the direction his heart naturally leans toward, even when he tries to resist. That is why God is speaking to you today. Because He wants you to understand what you're sensing. The tug. The tension. The unusual spiritual weight pressing on your chest. God is letting you feel the truth of what's happening behind the scenes. He knows you've been confused, wondering why things feel so intense, why emotions that were quiet have suddenly awakened again, why your spirit is alert even when nothing seems to be happening. But God sees it all. Every shift. Every silent decision. Every hidden battle inside him, he is torn. And she knows it. And God wants you to know it too. You have wondered why she stays, why the situation hasn't changed, why she still occupies a space you know wasn't meant for her. You've questioned yourself at times, asking whether you're imagining the spiritual pull. Whether you've been waiting for nothing, whether God has actually spoken, or whether your own heart is misleading you. But God is clearing that confusion today. He wants you to know that you are not imagining anything. The tension is real because the love is real. The fear is real because the connection is real. And the hesitation is real because the decision he needs to make is life-altering, she stays because she fears the moment he realizes he cannot keep pretending. She stays because as long as she remains physically present, she believes she can hold his attention away from what he feels spiritually. She believes proximity will win over destiny. But God is saying it won't. Physical closeness cannot overpower spiritual alignment. Emotional habit cannot erase divine assignment. Being there does not mean being chosen. And she knows that. That is why she clings. Because deep down, she realizes that if she loosens her hold, he will drift toward the one thing she cannot fight, God's hand on his heart. God sees her fear. God sees his confusion. And God sees your exhaustion. You've been carrying emotions that you never asked for, feelings that arrived uninvited, and a connection that refuses to fade no matter how much time passes. You've tried to move on. You've tried to disconnect. You've tried to silence the longing. But God keeps pulling your heart back, not to cause pain, but to reveal truth. You are not bound by obsession. You are being drawn by divine purpose. There is a difference. God is not showing you these things to torment you, He is preparing you. He is letting you feel what is happening beneath the surface so that when the truth finally breaks open, you recognize His fingerprint on it. You are not waiting in vain. You are waiting in alignment. And God wants you to understand that the obstacles you see are not signs of defeat, they are signs of transformation. He is shifting something inside him. Slowly. Quietly. Deeply. He is awakening feelings he tried to bury. He is confronting truths he avoided. He is realizing that the connection he has with you is not something he can outrun, and she feels this awakening. Even if he says nothing. Even if he denies it. Even if he hides his emotions. Women know when a man's heart is drifting. They know when his affection is slipping. They know when his interest is shifting. They can feel the emotional current changing long before he ever admits it. She feels you as a threat because she senses the emotional territory that is no longer hers. She is holding on to something that is already loosening. She is protecting something she already lost spiritually. She is fighting a battle that was never hers to win. God wants you to understand that her presence does not mean defeat. Her persistence does not mean power. Her place in his life does not mean permanence. She is there because your connection threatens her comfort. She is there because your existence unsettles her security. She is there because she senses what he feels but won't say. But she is not there because God placed her there. She is not there because she completes him. She is not there because she is the one meant to walk with him into his future. She is there because she fears losing what she has held onto for too long. And fear is not the foundation of a God-ridden relationship. God is bringing clarity today because He knows you've endured confusion for far too long. You've asked too many nights, why is she still in the picture? You've wondered whether her influence, her presence, her attachment would overshadow God's plan. But God is reminding you, nothing can overshadow what He has ordained. Nothing can block what He has aligned. Nothing can replace what He has chosen. You are not an option, God made you part of the blueprint. And you need to remember that, there are times when God allows certain people to stay longer in someone's life because He is revealing their intentions, their fears, their weaknesses, and their limits. Sometimes God lets them stay because their presence is exposing what isn't working. Sometimes God lets them stay because their behavior under pressure reveals their hearts. And sometimes God lets them stay because their inability to align with what God is doing creates the separation that needs to happen. You don't need to fight her. You don't need to convince him. You don't need to prove anything. God is already moving the pieces without you speaking a word. You may not see it yet, but something is shifting inside him. The more he tries to force something that isn't aligned, the more restless he becomes. The more he tries to pretend the connection he feels toward you doesn't matter, the more God whispers truth into his soul. The more he tries to choose comfort over destiny, the more uncomfortable his spirit becomes. God will not let him settle. Not this time. Not with this connection. Not with this level of purpose interwoven into it. He may delay. He may avoid. He may hesitate. But he cannot escape what God has written. And she knows this, even if she cannot articulate it. She senses the threat. She senses the shift. She senses the inevitable. That is why she stays. That is why she resists leaving. That is why she holds on to him even when the foundation is cracking beneath her. She believes she can fight destiny with determination. But God is saying she cannot. The more she clings, the more unstable the connection becomes. The more she tries to secure his heart, the more distant he grows. The more she tries to protect what was never hers, the more obvious it becomes that she is forcing something God is dismantling. God wants you to stop doubting yourself. Stop questioning your worth. Stop wondering if you are second choice. Stop thinking you are losing. You are not losing. You are being positioned. Every delay has purpose. Every confusion has meaning. Every moment you've endured has been allowed for a reason. God is preparing you for the moment when everything becomes clear. You are not just part of his story, you are the chapter he cannot move past. You are the part of the plot God refuses to delete, and when God refuses to delete something, it means it is essential. You are essential to his growth. You are essential to his awakening. You are essential to his spiritual journey. And whether he understands this today or months from now, he will eventually face the truth that his heart has known all along. You've wondered why God allows you to feel him so deeply, even from a distance. You've wondered why God lets you sense His emotions before He expresses them. You've wondered why God gives you this spiritual awareness that feels both powerful and painful. It is because God is not just connecting hearts, He is connecting destinies. There is purpose in the intensity. There is purpose in the longing. There is purpose in the spiritual clarity God gives you. You are not imagining things. You are discerning things, and God is preparing you for the moment when He steps forward, when He finally chooses truth over fear, when He finally releases what was holding Him back. God is not bringing you this far to leave you. There is a moment coming when everything that has been hidden in silence will begin to surface, and God is preparing your spirit for that moment even now. You may feel it already, the sense that something is approaching, even if you cannot name it. The heaviness that comes and goes. The sudden waves of emotion. The quiet moments of longing that appear out of nowhere. These are not coincidences. They are the signs of a spiritual shift happening around you, inside Him, and even within the circumstances that seem stagnant. God often moves in whispers before He moves in visible ways. And right now, He is whispering through your intuition. You are sensing Him because He is thinking of you more than He allows Himself to admit. His Spirit reaches for you even when His mind tries to deny it. He may be quiet, He may be distant, He may be trying to maintain control, but something deep inside Him is unraveling. Not falling apart, unraveling. There is a difference. Falling apart means chaos. Unraveling means transformation. God is taking apart everything in Him that doesn't belong so He can rebuild him into someone capable of the connection He feels toward you. He is wrestling with emotions He doesn't know how to process. He feels loyalty to the life he has been living, yet he feels drawn towards something that feels truer, deeper, more spiritually aligned. He feels responsible for what he has built with her. Yet he feels alive in ways he cannot explain when he thinks of you. These conflicting emotions are wearing him down silently. And she sees the shift. She sees the hesitation. She sees the way his soul is drifting away from her, even if he tries to stay physically present, and that is exactly why she will not step back. Because she knows the moment she gives him space, he will begin to breathe in ways that reveal what his heart has been quietly suffocating under. She knows that if she loosens her grip, he will naturally gravitate toward the connection God placed inside him. She believes that by staying, she is preserving something. But in truth, she is only delaying what God is preparing to remove. You have felt helpless watching all of this, even though you cannot see the full story unfold. God knows your heart has been stretched thin. He knows you've asked why things seem stuck. He knows you've wondered whether you are waiting for something that will never come. But God is reminding you that not everything that appears still is without motion. Some of God's greatest works are happening behind doors that have not yet opened. Some of His greatest moves take shape in silence, He is working on his heart in ways the world cannot see. He is placing you in his thoughts at moments when he least expects it. He is making your presence felt somewhere deep, somewhere quiet, somewhere sacred. Not because you forced it. Not because you tried to insert yourself. But because you are part of the divine blueprint of his life. You are not an interruption. You are an alignment. And God does not allow alignments to fade. Your patience, your quiet strength, your ability to sit with emotions that feel heavy, none of this is wasted. God is strengthening you spiritually for a connection that requires more than ordinary love. This is not a simple story. This is one with spiritual depth, karmic unfolding, emotional transformation. This is the kind of story that takes time because souls are being reshaped. This is the kind of story that carries destiny. More is being rewritten in the unseen than you realize. You may wonder why she is so threatened by you, even without knowing you. It is because she senses the depth he feels toward you, depth he has never given her. She sees the way his eyes soften at certain memories. She notices the glow that appears in him when your name comes up, even indirectly. She watches the way his energy shifts when she tries to talk about the future. There is a hesitation that did not exist before. A discomfort she cannot explain. A silence that stretches for too long. He is not angry at her. He is lost within himself. He is trying to understand the pull he cannot ignore. She thinks her presence can fix what is breaking. She believes her persistence can hold him in place. But God is showing you that her fight is not against you, it is against what God himself is unfolding. She is battling the inevitable. She is resisting the truth. But God is patient. He lets people cling until they realize there is nothing left to hold on to. And that moment for her is coming. God is shaping this story in a way that protects everyone involved. He is not bringing chaos, he is bringing clarity. He is not tearing things apart, he is revealing what no longer fits. He is not punishing anyone, he is allowing everyone to see the truth they've avoided. She will see that forcing love does not strengthen it. He will see that avoiding truth only prolongs pain. And you will see that waiting on God never leaves you empty-handed. There is a kind of peace coming that you haven't felt in a long time. A peace that confirms everything you have sensed. A peace that replaces the doubt you've carried. A peace that makes the waiting worth it. God is preparing you for that moment, not just emotionally, but spiritually. He is aligning your heart to receive what you once thought was impossible. He is preparing him to step into honesty. And he is removing anything that would interfere with the path he is setting before both of you. Right now, she may appear strong, present, unshaken. But appearance is not truth. Inside, she feels the cracks. She feels the slipping. She feels the quiet withdrawal of his affection. She feels the emotional distance expanding. And it scares her. That fear is what keeps her from leaving. That fear is why she holds tighter. That fear is why she pretends not to see what is happening. But fear cannot hold what God is releasing. He is growing out of the emotional space she tries to keep him in. He is outgrowing the attachments he once felt obligated to maintain. His spirit is awakening, and he is realizing that love without alignment is a burden, not a blessing. This awakening will not come suddenly. It is coming gradually, softly, with every moment he is forced to confront the truth he has been pushing away, and as he awakens, he will begin to see you differently, not as a memory, not as a possibility, but as a part of his destiny he cannot deny. He will feel the weight of the connection. He will feel the pull of what could be. He will recognize the difference between feeling settled and feeling alive. He is beginning to realize that comfort is not the same as fulfillment. And she is beginning to sense that realization, even before he speaks it aloud. God is calling you to stay grounded during this transition. Not anxious. Not fearful. Not comparing yourself. Not questioning your worth. Stay grounded. Because your grounding is what keeps the connection balanced. When you are at peace, the energy moves freely. When you are secure, the vision becomes clearer. When you rest in God, the story unfolds without resistance. Nothing meant for you is slipping away. Nothing destined for you is being taken. Nothing you are sensing is accidental. God is revealing these things because a shift is approaching, a shift that will expose what is real, what is forced, what is fading, and what is rising. And when that moment comes, you will not need to fight for your place. Your place will be undeniable. There will come a moment, a quiet one, when everything that has felt confusing, heavy, or unbalanced finally shifts into focus. You may not recognize the exact second it begins, but your spirit will. It will feel like air returning to your lungs after holding your breath for too long. It will feel like peace sliding into places where uncertainty once lived. It will feel like finally understanding why God made you wait, why He protected you from rushing, why He asked you to trust Him even when you didn't know what you were trusting Him for. And in that moment, you will see clearly that nothing was ever working against you. Everything was preparing you. She has been holding on, not because she is strong, but because she is afraid. Afraid of the truth that has been unfolding beneath her, afraid of the emotional distance growing every day, afraid that his heart has already crossed a threshold she cannot pull it back from. And deep down, she knows it. She feels the slow quietness in him. She feels the way he doesn't fight with the same passion anymore. She feels the way his energy withdraws even when his body is there. She feels the way his mind wanders to places she cannot reach. And she feels his heart drifting toward you, even if he never says a word. But her fear cannot stop what God is doing. Her presence cannot block what God is awakening. Her attachment cannot erase what God has written in his soul. She holds on to him because she feels him slipping away, but she does not understand that the slipping is not caused by you, it is caused by the truth. A truth he can no longer deny. A truth God will not let him ignore. A truth that is rising inside him the way dawn rises after a long night, and you have been patient, even when it felt like your patience was breaking you. You have been strong in moments where you wanted to collapse. You have held on to faith even when it felt like faith was holding on to you. You have endured emotions that felt too heavy for your spirit, yet you carried them anyway. Not because you were desperate, but because something in you knew this connection was different. Something inside you recognized something familiar in him, something spiritual, something ancient, something written long before either of you took your first breath. God has been protecting this connection with a silence that felt like distance. But it wasn't distance. It was divine protection. If things had moved too fast, the story would have broken. If he had come to you before being spiritually ready, the connection would have cracked under the weight of his confusion. If she had left too soon, he would not have understood what was real and what was habit. Everything God allowed had purpose. Every delay, every pause, every moment of waiting. You were not being punished. You were being positioned. And now, the positioning is nearing completion. He is beginning to see that love is not something you force yourself into, it is something your soul naturally leans toward. He is recognizing that emotional comfort is not the same as spiritual connection. He is feeling the difference between someone who fits his routine and someone who fits his destiny. And that realization is shaking him. Not in fear, but in awakening. He is becoming aware of what his heart has been whispering for a long time. You were never meant to be a temporary thought. You were never meant to be a passing emotion. You were never meant to be a phase. You were meant to be part of his alignment. God has been working on him quietly, rearranging pieces inside him that he didn't even know were out of place. Breaking cycles. Healing old wounds. Softening hardened parts of him. Revealing to him what real connection feels like. Pouring truth into places where confusion once lived. He is being prepared for you. Not by accident. Not by coincidence. But by divine design. She will reach a point where she can no longer hold on, not because she chooses to let go, but because God gently removes what was never meant to stay. She will realize that what she has been fighting for was never truly hers. And though it may hurt her, it will not destroy her. God has a path for her too, even if it is not this one. But she cannot block what God is aligning. She cannot prevent what is unfolding. She cannot stop destiny from taking shape. God wants you to understand something deeply. You are not the cause of their unraveling. You are the revelation of what was never rooted. You are not the reason their bond is weakening. You are the reminder of what he has been missing. You are not the disruption. You are the alignment. And alignment always exposes what does not belong. Soon, he will reach a moment where he can no longer lie to himself. A moment where he chooses truth over comfort. A moment where he steps away from what drains him and moves toward what centers him. A moment where he stops resisting the pull and finally acknowledges the connection he feels with you. His silence will crack. His hesitation will break. His confusion will clear. And the truth will rise to the surface with a clarity that cannot be ignored. When that moment comes, it will not come with chaos. It will come with peace. A deep, unshakable peace that confirms everything you have sensed. A peace that fills the spaces where doubt once lived. A peace that softens every wound created by the waiting. A peace that reminds you that God never forgot you, never overlooked you, never abandoned what he promised, and when he comes forward, he will come forward with honesty, not rushed, not pressured, not half-hearted. He will come forward with clarity. He will come forward with intention. He will come forward recognizing your value, not guessing it. He will come forward seeing you as someone who was not just part of his life, but part of his purpose. The love you feel is not a mistake. The connection you sense is not imagined. The alignment you keep returning to is not an accident. It is God-placed, God-protected, God-prepared, and soon it will be God-revealed. The weight you carry will lighten. The confusion you feel will fade. The uncertainty you struggle with will dissolve. And the story you've been waiting to understand will finally unfold in front of you, not because she left, not because he fell apart, but because God brought everything into divine order. You are closer to clarity than you realize. Closer to alignment than you feel. Closer to truth than you think, and when the final shift happens, you will look back at every moment of confusion, every tear, every longing, every unanswered prayer, and you will understand why God made